Another year has flown by, and it is time for the 2023 Numerology. I've also thrown in some astrology. Hi, I am Jodine Sher, your personal transformation coach from Lifeology, and every year I give you an overview of the numerology and the astrology because it's a really important tool that we use when we do any level of coaching. Both the numerology and the astrology is twofold. It gives us the insight into personally who you are when we understand your life path number and when we have the opportunity to look into your birth chart. Your traits are sitting within both the numerology and the astrology, and so much of the collective energy and the numerology guides you to understand the power of a particular number and how to use that energy best to align with you. All the time we are in this co-creation between our power to do the best that we can and the numerology and the astrology in co-creation with the overall energy of the universe is always navigating us towards our greatest happiness, towards our fulfillment, and towards our joy. When you understand your personal numerology as well as the numerology and the astrology of the times, then we can see how the two link together. And it's all about the consciousness with which you use yourself, your traits, and who you are, and how you align them to the calling of the energy at the time. So for 2023, the number becomes a 7. And with this 7 number, it's really the theme for the whole time is going to be about truly calling for us to explore who we are. There is a depth into the 7 number that really asks for this combination of a balance between knowledge and wisdom. And it's the opportunity to enhance our intuition and truly trust who we are. But it can come along, and it has to come along, with the unsettling of certain things in life so that we can ask ourselves what we truly believe. The analysis of our beliefs is a big thing through the whole of a 7 year. And what can happen is it can feel like we are maybe uprooted in some way while we are trying to reestablish our beliefs. What's really important about belief is that it needs to be your own personal belief. It's not something that has been handed down to you. And that is a lot of the friction that happens, is for us to get to the point of questioning and saying, is this truly what I believe, or is this what I have been told to believe? So that's going to happen through the year. So the core theme is about questioning our faith the whole time. The testing of faith and getting into the deeper truth of who we are could give the perception that it's a tougher year, but that's only if you are not truly allowing yourself to step into your innate connection with your faith, your religion, your spirituality. It can definitely be a slower year, so it might not feel like a fast-paced year where things are really happening quickly. And the reason for that is because time is giving us the opportunity to go inwards and to just go deeper. We can't really find the truth that we need to carry us through if we are rushing through things. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get consciously through every cycle that starts in a 1 and ends in a 9. So what we're doing now is establishing these roots of faith to carry us through to the 9 cycle that ends in 2025. So we're always energetically knowing that we have the next number that we need to look at. 7 is also the year of the hermit, and it doesn't mean that it's a year where you become isolated and you don't step into the world and celebrate and have a good time. But the hermit calls for us to go inwards and to witness everything very differently, very intuitively. So we do have to watch that we don't have an isolated year in a 7 year, because some people can go into the hermit. And if you are feeling like you are the hermit, it's important to make sure that you use the energy of the year as best as possible so that you come out wiser about yourself, wiser about the world around you and what you truly want. That is really the point of the 7. It's also the opportunity to learn and grow. So if you are going to be the hermit and you are going to take the opportunity to step away, then stepping into traditional types of education can happen in the 7 year. There can be a calling to expand your knowledge. But also it's the opportunity to expand the knowledge and understand the depth of who you truly are. So it can also be a year where you have a calling to dabble into different kinds of religions, spiritual beliefs, practice different types of meditation, become more and more curious about who you are. The only thing is, be careful not to become so distracted by wanting to study this and wanting to learn this and wanting to expand your knowledge that you are not focusing on what you truly need to learn, which is to truly understand and learn about yourself. So much of the year is about inner guidance and intuition, and in that, relationships can come up, and the play on relationships that does come up is about truly acting and understanding your intention and how you treat others, and whether there are levels of respect in the way that you treat others, because integrity is a big part of the 7. We are trying to see the places where we are deeply unconscious, where we are ego-driven, and in return, we are looking for the wound that we start to see and truly understand why we behave the way that we do. So if relationship stuff comes up in the 7 year, it's the opportunity for us to go inwards like the hermit and tell ourselves the truth about how we are acting and how we are behaving. It's not to bully ourselves. It's to start to heal those wounds. The ego is always calling for us to heal the deeper wound. Then another part of this is to tap into that sixth sense and to make sure that you are trusting your intuition within relationships to see how you are being treated. Because in that, we need to filter out anything or anyone where they are not in integrity with us. Once again, it can make it feel like it's a more emotionally difficult and complicated year, but as long as you are trusting your intuition and remaining in that space of faith. And when we talk about faith, if you haven't done the tools of faith with us, focus, acceptance, intention, trust, and happiness, then I encourage you to book a transformation coaching session so that we personalize it for you to truly understand how to use that tool of faith to stay in the present moment, and then know that everything that you do serves you best, even if it is uncomfortable or the perception of uncomfortable. There's going to be some letting go and of anything that no longer serves us, and the bravery is really important for us to have during this year. It also gives us the opportunity to go into the depths of career, finances, life choices, where we really get to ask ourselves what makes us happy, where do we find the fulfillment and joy. We're really called to see our potential and the potential of our dreams and our desires within this coming year. And it's so important to always remember that we are looking for the places where we are not flexible in our beliefs and our actions. This is going to be a year that molds us into truly understanding and questioning why we act as we do and why we believe what we do. So that's going to be a strong theme. Be careful that you don't misinterpret the loneliness. So if the world does get quiet and if you are finding that you are feeling lonely within the year, then it is your opportunity to see how much of a best friend you are to yourself and how you can manage to use that energy of the year, because it gives us the opportunity to really be self-focused, and we mustn't misunderstand it. Don't get too distracted by the outside world this year that is coming. It's truly about focusing on yourself, and if you are going to be distracted by the outside world, use it as an opportunity to witness who you are in the world. To truly use this year well, it is to become spiritually curious and play in different modalities. So working with the planets, doing any kind of alternate healing, becoming more connected to nature in some kind of way, connecting to the elements this year will really, really benefit you. It's also important that if you haven't really understood and delved into 2022, if you go to the blog post that is created about this, the 2023 Numerology and Astrology, to see if you are caught up with the 6 energy before you step into the 7 energy is also really, really important. So to personalize the numerology, because what we've done now is we've looked at the numerology, overall it's called the universal number for 2023. You will have your life path number, where we take your day, your month and your year, we add it together, and we can have a look at how your life path number works within the 7 energy next year, so we can find the guidance that you need to make the most of the year. We can also look at your personal year, so when we take your day and your month and we add it to 2023, you are in a specific personal year. For example, I am going into a 4-year, I'm currently in a 3-year, and in my 3-year I've worked so hard to make sure that all of the content that I need to really do this transformation coaching is done and settled. There was a lot of writing in 2022 for my 3 number. In my 4, it's about building a greater foundation of everything that I created in the 3-year to start to present it to the world with more of a solid foundation. If we know your numerology, then I can help you to understand that as well. At the same time, if you book a numerology, and I always have my cards with me, if you would like a couple of tarot cards pulled for the year, with pleasure, once again in the blog, or go straight to lifeology.biz in the consultation section. You can book a numerology and ask for a couple of cards. Otherwise, if you want a full tarot spread for 2023, that's also currently available. Let's have a quick look at the astrology for the year, and how we work with the astrology is when we have main planetary movements, or if there's anything happening with the different moon phases. For example, if we understand and know your moon sign, so the time of birth when you were born, where was the moon, we know the most powerful moon phases for you to work in through the year. The same as the planets, when we understand, for example, where is Mercury, or where is Virgo in Venus in your chart, where is Pluto in your chart. As we have the different astrological movements, we can personalize it to you. So we start off the year with some planets going direct, which is nice. So Mars, Mercury and Uranus are all going to go direct, and they're going to leave some of that old 2022 energy behind. Once again, it will benefit you to just go back, the link is in the blog post, and have a look at everything that we spoke about for 2022. Then February's quiet, which is nice, so we can take a breath, and it's very common for a 2 energy to just have a slower pace. So we will have a breath in February before we step into March, which is really significant. Saturn goes retrograde. Saturn is retrograde, and then it goes back into Pisces for a while, and then Pluto also enters Aquarius for a while. Pluto's really big whenever it makes a movement, because it's a really slow planet, but it's truly significant when we have those kind of movements. So we started Mercury in retrograde at the start of the year, but our full Mercury retrograde is going to be in April. And then Pluto retrograde and Jupiter enters Taurus in May. So our Pluto retrograde starts, and then Jupiter moves once a year, and it's a really, really nice move to understand what this lucky, expansive planet can do for us when we know where it is in your chart. June, it's the month of retrogrades. Pluto is going to be moving back into Capricorn, because it will already have been in retrograde, but then both Saturn and Neptune go retrograde. And then July is the start of truly deeply focused self-love, because we're moving the nodes. So when we talk about the nodes, it's the nodes of the moon. And when we understand that, we can see the emotional healing that you need to do within this lifetime. Venus, the planet of love, and Chiron, the wounded healer, are all going retrograde. So much personal introspection for healing is going to be in July. In August, Mercury goes retrograde again, and then Uranus also goes retrograde. Then from September to December, we are really going to feel ourselves gearing up into being able to move forward from everything that we have learned through 2023 until that point, because we have 6 planets going direct from September to December, which is a beautiful shift of energy. And of course, the year never ends without a Mercury retrograde, which happens again in December. So once again, if you don't have a birth chart, I would like to just quickly interject that Lifeology has shifted the way that our payment structure. We have a beautiful energetic payment structure now, where you pay what you feel or pay what you can afford. So if you have not done an astrological birth chart, you haven't done any work with me, and you just want a place to start, having your birth chart done is a great place to start, because then we can start to see all the different layers of work that we can do and help you to bring about the change and the transformation that you want in your life. We will be able to see the places of low self-esteem, see where the wounds happened, and truly understand the work that you need to do to evolve into this greatest version of yourself if we have your birth chart. If you truly have no idea of where you would want to start with me or with Greg, then all that you need to do is book a 30-minute exploratory session. And what we will do in then is you can ask me any questions, and we can unpack what is the numerology, what is the astrology, how does it work for you, and we can figure out the best way forward. All of our services that help you in your journey of self-discovery, they are all on a pay what you feel and pay what you can afford pricing structure. Every consultation does have a minimum charge, and it also gives you a suggested, but it has been such an important part of us during 2022 to truly understand through that numerology what Lifeology means to you, and how we can be the best version of ourselves, and so deeply supportive, because that's what 2022's been about, is how do we truly go into the heart of who we are. And Lifeology at the heart of who we are is we are there to help you change anything in your life that is not bringing you fulfillment and joy. And we truly understand that money is a big part or a big obstacle that could be in many people's way. So it's been a great joy for us to work through that and figure that out. And we would love to be able to support you through 2023. And now's the best time to try and understand everything that's happening so that you can prepare the energy going forward. So I hope that this has been helpful, and I would love to see you along the way. Get hold of me to understand your numerology and to dig into the astrology, and mostly take that 30-minute consultation if you haven't connected with me yet, to ask me those questions. Joe, how does numerology and astrology, especially my numerology and astrology, how does it help? Come and ask me that question. I will chat to you soon.